You understand I'm in art space.
Good evening, everyone. This is Cricket Lot for Wednesday, November 13th, 2024. And if you don't join early, you miss all the laughs.
Indeed you do.
Tonight we are going to hear some feedback from three of the lovely ladies who attended Shannon Hudson's event. If you have never gone to a Shannon Hudson event, you absolutely must go. There is always so much information. You can't capture it all in your brain. You have to take a big old notebook and write it all down in there and take pictures of all the slides and all of that. So maybe I'll just ask a couple questions to kind of get you guys started. And then if you have something particular you want to share, you can jump in on that too. So I guess first of all, do you have a favorite speaker that was there? Debbie?
My favorite speaker always is Shannon, but Dr. Ali came really close, even though he's really green and detailed with science. It still gave me some information that just blew my mind.
He was just funny. What a funny man he is.
Yeah. I think he's much better in person than his books are. His books, I don't know, are technical, or it is the humor doesn't come through on his books. But when he's talking, and he just has an amazing amount of information. So what did he talk about?
Go ahead, Debbie. Oh, he did talk about grounding. Oils and grounding and healing in nature. And I thought it was kind of funny because my sister, since COVID, has not been able to smell or taste. And he said, you're not healthy, or how did he put it? Something like, you're not healthy if you can't smell or taste. He said, you may have everything else, but he said, you're really not healthy whatsoever. And he said, there should not be any reason, even 4 years after COVID, to not be able to smell and taste. And she hasn't been able to since COVID, but he said, if you're using oils or go ground in nature, he said, do a brain jog in nature where you're smelling everything. He said, whether you diffuse oils or you're just smelling them out of a bottle, he said, you should be able to retrain your brain to get your smell and taste back. But he was funny. And then he also talked about men and because Shannon talked about women's breasts, he did men's, testosterone and all of that. And he was just funny. I mean, just the things he's so matter of fact when he says all this stuff, but I mean, because he was talking about there was mounting frequency. That's an unusual way to call it. He said mounting frequency. But I mean, he is a great speaker. He was wonderful.
Did he recommend any particular oils for grounding and for smelling to get your smell and taste back?
Well, he said peppermint. He was talking about that, but he was talking about how your brain works with the frequency of the earth and the oils. And he was talking about like Northern Lights black spruce was one of them. But he said peppermint is a strong oil you can use too, and lemon. So he was talking. Do you remember any other oils, Debbie or Tammy, that he mentioned?
I think any of the tree oils, I'm not I was listening to the presentation, but I was also recording, so I'm planning on going back to listen. But getting your brain activated with any of the oils. To say that there's any one specific, I just think when you go out in nature, what do you find? You find your flowers, you find your trees, you find your dirt ones. You're breathing all of those in all the time when you walk outside. But if you're not walking outside for whatever purpose you can't get outside, you want to have those in your home. And I think that's why we have all those different levels of oils, and
Right.
they're labeled accordingly, right? Like there's a reason why they're different colors. And I haven't learned that completely yet, but that's something I need to do so that when I want a grounding oil, that's probably the green ones.
Right.
Whatever shade of color your trees are. If you want your grounding oils, those are probably the ones that are more orangey looking. I'm guessing here, Cricket might be able to help me out in that area.
I think the labels are based on colors of the flowers or the plants, the material that's used for it.
Okay.
So, like, although frankincense is red, and certainly frankincense resin isn't red, but frankincense is a tree oil.
But I just find, I know like there's a progression in the colors in what we do, but
Yeah.
that aside, that wasn't part of the hormone thing. But yes, Dr. Ollie was really good in that. And I think tree oils, I know he spoke a lot about the tree oils too.
Yeah. And hugging the trees and with Gary.
Pine, I think, was one of the key ones he talked about.
Yeah.
Northern Lights Black Spruce, another one, just for its vibration, for its energy, for all those things to help make things function in your body.
Well, and how the brain relates with the Earth's frequencies, the Schumann frequencies. So he said it will help increase your health if you're breathing in and grounding with nature. The thing that hit me too, what he said was the third leading cause of death in I think in the United States is medicine, just writing wrong prescriptions, not telling people what this could do, not correlating with whatever other medication they're doing. He said that's a third leading cause of death, and that surprised me.
And someone in one of the other speakers said heart disease was the first one.
Yeah.
So the first claim to death is heart disease, and the third being wrongful medication. You know, that only leaves one in the middle, and that usually comes down to which one?
Cancer.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
No.
you know, it's everything we heard this weekend or this past weekend was so important.
So did
And
you have a different favorite speaker than Dr. Ali?
For myself, Shannon is always my go-to because I just love how she shares and she makes it relatable. And she has stories to tell so you can remember what you're being taught.
Yes.
And if I may, one of the ones I like best are how she talks about how all the glands talk to one another so that the hormones get sent out accordingly. And I don't know if anyone has heard that story, but the and forgive me if I pronounce it or say it wrong. The one up front, hypothalamus, correct?
Hypothalamus. Yep.
Thalamus, okay. And then you get your pituitary and your pineal gland. Then it's your thyroid, and then it's your adrenals. She classifies it as the family. The front is dad, two moms because there's lots to do. Thyroid is the big brother, and the adrenals are the two little sisters. And when the two little sisters aren't getting what they need to, you know, do their day, they go to the big brother and say, hey, we need help. Well, big brother doesn't want to help. So then big brother says no. Well, then the adrenals send information to the pituitary and the pineal asking for, you know, hey, we need help and big brother's not helping. He's not giving us what we need. So then they try to tell the thyroid what to do. And again, he says, no, I don't want to. Well, then they invite dad into the picture. And then dad says, yeah, you just tell him I said do it. Goes back to pituitary, goes back to the thyroid. They say dad said do it. So he's like, okay, fine. And then there's the hormones that are being released with attitude. You don't want those. You want the good ones that, yeah, the brother's being nice. He's going to cooperate. He's going to give you what you need. The T4, the way she says it, are the hormones with attitude. The T3s are the hormones that you want that are good and help do all the things. But when you give T4, it creates other problems. So I just love how she paints this picture so that you can share it so people understand if they're having issues down in this area in any way, or this whole thing about adrenal fatigue that doctors are going to say that's not a thing, but they're proving that it is.
Yeah.
Hello. You know, you can't just, I don't know. We're all on the same page about this, and I don't want to, we need our doctors. And they don't know what they don't know sometimes. I always say your doctor is only as good as the patients that he sees or she sees, and how much effort is she putting into looking for a solution. Even though she doesn't seem to see a problem, she still needs to help her patient. So he or she, sorry. And so that's where I feel on that. And I just love how when we can come and say, I understand this adrenal fatigue can be a real thing. You have to ask them without hurting their ego, without hurting their pride, or discrediting all their years of knowledge, right? We have to do this with respect and honor towards them in order to work together to solve whatever issues we may have. And so the fact that adrenal fatigue is a thing, and when they start introducing Ningxia Red, they start introducing all these other things to help us fix our hormones and balance our hormones out, how these other things get checked off the box, because this is not bothering me more. That's been, sleep is better. Like, they're doing the studies. So I can't wait to see what new studies Young Living is going to come forward with over the years.
Because they said they are in the works. One thing I really loved about the Q&As at the end, one person had asked something, and then Shannon said, "Do you know what I told my doctor? I'm going to be doing this. You just monitor what is going on in my system." And so it takes the responsibility completely out of the doctor's hands, going, "Okay, sounds good." That was one of my favorite bold statements that I heard, that it was like, if you want someone to monitor you, just tell them, "This is what I'm doing, just monitor me. I will not give you any hard time if it doesn't work. I'm just going to do it this way."
And she prefaced that quickly. Sorry, Cricket, go ahead.
No, that's cool. That's a great suggestion.
Yeah. And she prefaced that with, they can do that and say yes to it. But if you go to them and you say, "This is what I'd like to do, what do you think?" They can't, because they're not knowledgeable in the area. So they have to say yes, or they have to say no. So automatically they can't say yes because they don't know. So they say no. And so they only have those options. But if you go to them and with that respectful way of saying, "Hey, this is what I'm going to be doing, could you monitor me?"
Yeah.
They can say yes to that.
That was excellent. Yeah.
Yeah.
I loved how Marlene brought up, when you start doing your Ninja Red on a regular basis, she says, before they have that shipped out to them, make sure they take down and write down everything that is going on in them, inside out, whatever that is going on with them in their body, and then tell them to put it away. And I said, well, I'm asking them to send me a copy of it, so that way it never gets lost. And then 30 days later, put it on your calendar, call them and just say, "So what's going on with this one? What's going on with this one?" And she says, it'll be amazing after 30 days of how much they're doing on their Ninja Red, that a lot of that stuff will be checked off. And they won't even know it, because they didn't even realize what was going on. And I thought, hallelujah, that's another way of just reaffirming what these oils and all that stuff does. So that's what I wanted to share.
Did she offer any suggestions of oils or supplements for the adrenal health?
Oh, absolutely. Do I have them down? I have to find the slides.
See, I knew we had backup. As she's looking for them, one of my favorite things, because I've been to so many of them, when you are there in person, everyone who is watching the replay, just so you know, when you go to an event, not only are you getting showered with information, but oils are coming by you to smell, put on, and enjoy. You get tickets every time you go to the next event, and you win prizes. Tammy got to win a free golden touch kit at the event.
The last one of the night, and God knew what I needed. I got home, and on Sunday I wasn't good. So I needed the Raven, I needed the RC, I needed all the things. I didn't open my kit until Monday. I didn't pull it out on Monday until to know what it was, because I just wasn't feeling good and hadn't thought of it. And I'm like, I was looking for you yesterday. I was like, I had to share with Debbie and Bonnie that, God knew what I was going to need the next day. And
Yes,
so yeah.
it was good.
For those of you who don't know, the Golden Touch Kit is like for all the immune system support things. So yeah.
It was a big deal. And yours truly, I got a special ticket, and I didn't know what it was for, but I was told that I was supposed to appear when the ticket got called on stage. The ladies got to watch me do ninja shots with corporate and a few other people on stage.
Oh my God,
Yeah,
that's
there was
great.
8 of them, 4 on each side.
Yeah, corporate had 5 of them, and I got to. I think it was Lisa. She recorded it for me, and he was double fisting it. And Shannon looked at corporate and said, "Chris, I think we know something more about you than we did know before." So we all got special gifts for that, but that was like, oh my goodness gracious. So because Marlene looked at me and says, you're gonna get called, get in there. I'm like, yes, ma'am. I was like, okay. So that was fun. And there's so many little special nuances, like when you get to sit together. I love that. We really got to enjoy the intermixing of talking and sharing stuff amongst each other. We got to get together at lunchtime and did lunch together as a potluck. We carried on Cricket's tradition because we've done that in the past, and we're like, we just got to do this to keep us all together. I myself, in the past, always used to be in the back oiling up Shannon. This time I told Shannon, I'm not oiling you up. I'm going to sit there and take notes. And I sat there throughout the whole time and took notes when I wasn't up running around helping people on stage and stuff. So I'm expecting a different result because I wanted to do something different. And now we are sharing as we're doing the 1090 together. And I've gotten a new sign up myself, and then a team member did. So
Good.
we're growing.
1090.
The 1090 is going out every day and finding 10 people to talk to. And that means talking to them. And then at the end, sharing your thing and leaving. I've been taking pictures of everybody. I've been following up with them in a text, and just the simple communication of that. And I have more people to follow up because it keeps you going. So having the Zyto available, having the iToby, or having the wellness assessment, that's all bringing all that in. And then inviting them on these calls are amazing, because then you're able to give them the opportunity to learn from other people that are on. So that has been a life changer, because I'm just tired of being in a rut, and I want to bless other people. And like Shannon said, she wouldn't have been around if she wouldn't have had Young Living in her life. And
so what's the 90 part of 1090?
The 90, thank you, Cricket. The 90 days. Now, that being said, that's 3 months in a row. And after 21 days, you should have this really well going. Well, there are people that have done it in 90 days and had no signups. But was really awesome was Marlene Wiegers that was there. She is now a diamond. Now, mind you, she was hunched over in a car in a grocery store, and a person that really was trying to do the 1090 kept circling around her. I know her blind Sherry was very loving, and she's like, "You need this oil. You need this." She's like, "Okay, crazy lady, I'll take whatever information you have." Well, Shannon get to share her story in person. That was amazing. Marlene did. I've heard it before, but it always makes me cry, so I'm not going to do it right now. And when you are doing that repetitively over time, it's giving you the confidence, because by the time they got to Marlene and did the 90, well, let me see, 33, yeah, 91st and 92nd person, they both signed up because, and I love how they put this, is you're doing this because you have to, but all of a sudden you've done your 10 people and you found the 11th birthday person that you did not have to do that day, but because you saw that they need what you have, you reached out to them. And that makes the difference because you're doing it from your heart, not because you have to.
Yep, very good. Bonnie, tell us a takeaway that you're going to start doing from it, whether it's a product or a business builder or
Well, we had a doctor from New York. Her name is Jihan Thomas, and she talked about creating an exceptional life. And she started out by saying how much does it cost to get into Young Living? Nothing. It's free, except for the products that you ordered. She says, I hate that because it makes it seem like your business isn't worth it. And she said, this business is worth everything. So she said, every moment you have is a clean slate to change your life. So make sure you change and make a promise to yourself that you're going to tell everybody and give them the opportunity to say yes or no to the opportunity. But she said, show them what these oils can do. And she said, a lot of people don't feel worthy. So you have to switch your thinking, your mindset. She said, make it a paradigm shift. Do little small actions every day and show up every day to put in your mind and in the people you talk to that it is worth it, that this business is worth it, and you're trying to change your life with this. She said you can have either the and or an or life, an and versus an or life. It's not, I want to go on a trip, but I need to pay consumers. So what are you choosing, and or? And I mean, she was a doctor, and they ended up moving into her in-laws' house with $11, I think, 11 something. They didn't have much money. And then that's when she started working with Young Living, where somebody introduced it. She still has her practice, but she goes around and she teaches more. And she gave me, and I think she gave you too, didn't she, Debbie? That it was a link to a book that she has where you talk to 7 people and they talk to 7. It's kind of like the 4-year plan with Richard Brooks, but I mean, in how you can
send that to you, Cricket, to share with people.
Yeah,
Number
it's
with
amazing. But I mean,
Yeah.
it just shows you that you're doing the business, but you're also teaching others to do the same thing. So you don't kind of leave people hanging. You show them how they work and how they can get to be, exceptional in their life and how they can expand their financial possibilities. And she says, think about how you approach your business. Are you proud? Are you skeptical? And when I got home, it made me think about Shannon, how, and all of these ladies, how they know everything about the oils, how they know what oils work for what system, and how all the oils kind of combine and they'll work anywhere. I mean, they kind of work in different, they'll combine how they work in different areas, whether it's the endocrine system or your skin or whatever. But, and it's just like Dr. Ali had started out too. Gary Young always said, doesn't matter how, if you know about the oils, just put them on and they know what to do. And they'll go to where they go.
Right.
Young
When-
living, it's more about teaching than selling.
Yeah.
Right,
Teaching how to
exactly.
use, yeah.
Yep.
I was not around when Lisa was out shopping at the vendor booths. And yes, ladies, the vendor booths are amazing. When you go to the smaller ones instead of the convention, you can talk with the vendors more. And Susan, I know she's a diamond, I just don't know where about, but she created a book. And I was in the hotel room with John and Lisa and Craig, and she showed me this book that Susan created, and I'm thumbing through it, and I'm going, oh my gosh. And she just kind of looked at me like, what? And I'm going, this is a great starter book for everyone. And she goes, what do you mean? I go, you walk through this. This is when you get started. You can tell people what products to use. And if they have questions about what systems that their supplements or all the supplements and everything that we have, go to those supplements. It will show you what to put on your sheets every month for your loyalty. It was beautifully designed. And I said, holy moly, this is an awesome book. I didn't even know how much it costed at the time. I didn't care. So it's just Saturday morning, I went over there and I said hi to Susan. I talked with her and I said, your book is amazing. I said, if nobody's gotten this, they got to get this. And so I did a little video. I got it up online and stuff. And she talks about, walks you through it, and I'll send you over the link to it if you guys haven't gotten it yet. But it blew me away. It's a great business tool, or just to share, because if you have no idea what to do, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, it's kind of an upgrade to her last book called Now What? After you buy the kit and what
Yeah,
oils and
I
stuff.
love that book.
Yeah.
I love that book. That's what
Cricket,
I
we
thought
can't
it
hear you.
sounded like.
Every
Yeah.
now and then you kind of fade out.
Maybe it's my head.
She was
Maybe it's
good.
my
I know.
headphone.
Yeah.
There you go.
There.
Tammy,
I
Tammy,
just
what
wanted
did you?
to get back to the hormone side of things there. And
Okay.
for the endocrine system, quickly they said anything that starts with endo that we have,
Yeah.
that is for the endocrine system. So just a quick update. So Endoflex, clove, this also includes any of those that are referred to as Vitality, or in Canada, the plus oils. The spearmint Vitality, lemongrass, rosemary, peppermint, frankincense. For supplements, they talked about Endogize, Thyromin, Multigreen, Super B. Super B and Ningxia, I think, were one of the key players of the whole event. Ningxia, because it covers all your body systems. That's the number one thing that we should be promoting, outside of the oils even, because once they get onto that, you don't want to be without it. I'm one of those people that is a mainstay for me now. That will never be without, you know what I mean? And then after that, it was supplementing, being sure people are getting a good vitamin B and a B complex. The mineral essence they talked a lot about too, for mind, for your well-being in that area. Femigen was a key one that she said, and you're nodding over there, Debbie. Do you remember what she said about the Femigen though? Like specifically, do you have any recollection of some of the things that she said that we need Femigen? Everyone
No,
should be on
that it works.
Femigen.
It's an amazing supplement for everything.
Yeah. I just can't remember. It's one of those ones that I can only get from the States when I'm there. So I would have been nice to have some of those supplies available for us Canadians to bring back, because then I wouldn't have to pay and have my, husband worry about picking them up for me. But those are just some different things. It's one of those supplements I can't have shipped to Canada for whatever reason.
Well, she said Femigen, I mean, was good for perimenopause, menopause, and then, what is it? Postmenopause?
Yeah.
Yeah, between, Femigen and Progessence Plus.
And
Where
that
the-
would have been Dr. Jihan, right? Talking about that. I
No,
believe she was the one, no?
this was Jody McKenna
Okay.
was talking about, talking about menopause.
Yeah, so Femigen in the supplements book from Jen O'Sullivan says it supports healthy libido, stress, energy, emotions, mood swings, vaginal dryness, PMS, hot flashes, appetite, metabolism, and is a natural alternative to estrogen therapy. Other herbs support your immune system, aid digestion, building blocks of glutathione, which is a gem for longevity, liver detoxification, cognitive health, and perfect supplement for hormonal changes. Just a few things. Just a few things it helps with.
Right.
Oh, so we're getting on to half an hour here. So are there any other big highlights that you want to share?
I thought it was interesting. Chris Bowerbank was from Research and Development from Young Living. And he talked about how they take oils from big box companies and they compare them with Young Living to their standards. And he said they can't even match up whatsoever with the standards that Young Living has. And he said, so just to let you know, I mean, Young Living is proud of the oils that they make, and they are setting up the standard for other oils and other oil companies.
Yeah, good to know.
I
Keep
also
losing people.
Chris was talking about the deep spectra and how much they are going to go deeper and do more of that, and how he showed the picture of this the oils itself, and then how they combined it with the other plant material to make it more it function more. The phytonutrient, the frankincense squared, and what other one it was that they have as the deep spectra, they have been the most talked about, very besides the Ninja Red, as very productive for the body. That was
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Tammy.
The frankincense square, as they called it, or deep spectra frankincense, is 5 times more potent than the original frankincense. And that's and it's also ingestible, and it's a very sticky substance. So it's better to ingest it than it is to apply it. So it got on my hands. It's a very different texture than a regular oil. So just know that. It's meant, I think, more for ingestion. The other thing, and I'm sorry I blacked out, wasn't paying attention to my battery. So just to pick up where I left off, I wanted to come back to, we were talking about Femigen Ningxia mineral essence. It was mineral essence that I think was one of those key things that needed to be added for the mineral deficiency that most people have, because they're starting to learn that studies show that most diseases start with a mineral deficiency. So that's one of those key items, again, that you want to put back into your diet in one way, shape, or form. And if you can't do it through all the other options that are out there, getting in a little dropper form, as yucky as it tastes, but if people can down Buckley's, they can take mineral essence. That's going to be
Buckley's is
going to be my line. If you can do Buckley's, you can do mineral essence.
I have just one other thing to say, Cricket. I was amazed. I mean, 2 of our speakers were Crown Diamonds or a diamond, Crown Diamonds, and they were Amish.
Yeah.
So if the Amish in their community can do this business and make money and rank up, they're not afraid to talk about it.
Yeah.
Neat.
And they don't do social media. They don't do
No.
any of the things we think this is
No.
where we need to be. They're not doing any of those things. So
No, they go out and talk to people.
yeah. One more thing back to hormones again that I want to share is Shannon was sharing about all the different types of hormones. We have over 50 different types of hormones in our body, but the ones that she kind of came to was the serotonin, the dopamine, all those. There was 4 key components. I think there's 4 of them. I lost my slide here. But those are the key ones that do all the main functions. And, you know, those are the ones you want to pay attention to as well. And because if you're feeling sad all the time, it means your happy hormone isn't engaged. So what do you need to do? And that's one of the slides I have here is just feeling happy, like getting your happy back. Here we go. It's how to increase your, well, let me see, I'm all messed up here. Here we go. How to increase happy levels. So simply physical touch, hug somebody, touch somebody, because just by touching somebody, you ever have somebody just walk by you and put the hand on your shoulder just to say hi, and how that energy just, it's like an awe feeling. And that's just one hand put on you in love, or just to be kind, to say, oh, hi, how are you? And then that energy just flows through you. That's a happy serotonin boost, right? Then it's socializing, just talking with people, getting out, talking and sharing. We're meant to be interactive. Getting a massage, the raindrop technique, diffuse your peppermint oil, get that happy, do the lemon oil, get that sunshine, you know, that inner thing going, the happy. Exercise, that's a whole nother, because it releases a lot of different hormones as you're exercising to do all of these things. Take a cold shower, listen to music or meditate, and then Ningxia read in Life 9. Those are just some of the things that I got that snapshot. Anyone else take snapshots? I'd be happy to have them at my end, share them somewhere somehow that we can share these to help jog our memory as to what was shared instead about that slide. I have to listen to the whole information package again to write notes down and share.
It was a great event.
Yeah.
Always is.
I really-
Always is. It always gets me fired up again.
Yep.
Could you pull that phone number that Jihan told us about and what the thing was, the text?
Yeah.
Because I'm looking for it and I'm not able to find it. I don't know why.
Okay. Yep.
That would be great to send it, Cricket, or share with everybody here if you can.
Okay.
And
Yep.
a quick note, Shannon did say that all of her material on her shannonhudsonyl.com, where all her classes are free to use. Everyone is able to share her videos with people in every aspect. She everything's free. Use it. I'm trying to find this.
I have to tell you that Shannon Hudson used to almost be 500 pounds.
Yes.
She's lost 260 some pounds.
Yes.
Yeah,
It's
in 3.5
amazing.
3.5 years. So she has a whole weight loss management program that she teaches, and you can send that to your people as well. She has all those things that you can utilize. I just think that's awesome.
Yep.
She wants everyone to succeed. Everyone. So
Now, she's
share
just
away,
amazing
people,
the way
'cause it's
she has
there to be shared.
adopted our team.
She is, yeah. And I've told her that. I thanked her. And it's just, to me, she is like a sister more than anybody else. And it's just kind of, we had a good heart to heart this weekend, which was awesome. And if you have yet to go to a live event in Michigan or anywhere nearby, and you're watching this, do reach out to us. If you want to go to something near you, it will change your life. Just being around like-minded people that have a gift to share. It's amazing. And I know all 3 of the ladies here that were on, that were with, all came away just with more
Blown
knowledge
away.
than we could possibly share.
Oh, no,
And it
yeah.
was
Yeah.
awesome. And
How
Cricket
much
was
time-
here with us.
How much time do we have, Cricket?
We should probably be wrapping it up. If you have any last things you want to share.
Well, unless somebody's got questions first.
I do have one question for you, actually.
Oh,
Our
me?
first speaker. I like the way, and I wrote some notes, how you said the big brother was the thyroid, the two sisters with the adrenals, but the other names I did not get. I thought that was very good.
The say that for me.
The only thing I wrote, I have the big brother was the thyroid, and the two sisters were the adrenals, but I didn't get the hypothalamus, the pineal gland, and the pituitary gland. What those were?
The hypothalamus
Thalamus.
is the dad.
That's the dad. Okay.
That's the dad, and the pituitary and the pineal are moms because we
they're-
need two moms.
Oh, they're both moms.
They're both moms because you got to double mom duties.
It's 4 hands, not 2.
Exactly.
And listen, there's one other thing I left. I wrote it down. Let's see. You said there were let's see, endocrine, what did I write down? There were let's see, hormones with an attitude. I didn't get those.
That's
You
the
did-
thyroid. When the big brother doesn't want to actually do the job, they send out T4 hormones, which she kind of puts it as that's the hormone with an attitude, but it's not necessarily going to be helpful to the adrenal gland.
Oh, I see. Got
will
it.
be helpful, but it's not like you're saying. It's like she says, instead of a T3 hormone, because the thyroid puts out T3 and T4, you want
Mhm.
more T3 is what I gathered out of the whole conversation of that, is that you want to be doing T3, which is calm, it's cool, it's, it's being compliant, it's being all these nice things. But when
Okay.
the T4 thyroid a hormone goes out from the thyroid, it does its job, but it creates a problem too.
Okay. Got
Like
it.
Big Brother, I just love how she put it all into perspective. And I
know, it's
want to
very
go
nice.
back.
And
What's
it seems like you got it too. And the way you explained it was very nice.
Yes.
Well, go back and look at her video, because that's the second time I heard it. And that's why, because when I heard it for the first
Okay.
time, I think I replayed it a couple times so it would stay in, but it was so easy to remember. And when she started to say it again, I was like, oh, I know this one. So
Okay.
it just ingrained more.
Her site is shannonhudson.com. Is that what it is?
Shannon, she put it in the comment section here. If you open up your chats in your Zoom link here, do you know how to open up your chat?
Not on my iPhone. My iPhone. I
Oh,
don't
okay.
know.
I'll put it in the text for the
Thank you,
replay.
Cricket. Thank you, Cricket,
Yeah.
so much. Yeah.
Yeah.
Find the
And just
from
go in and
um
what's that, Deb? Debbie?
So, Debbie. So I said when I find the text of Jihan's number to get them linked in, I'll send that over to Cricket too, or unless you two find it, because I know
No,
you
you,
guys.
can, you can send it. That'd be great.
And if
Right,
I
everyone.
find the specific video from Shannon, I'll share that too in Cricket's Facebook page.
Awesome. Because you did a really good job. I just want to let you know that.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, ladies. I'm so happy that you shared your event experience. And when's the next one? What's the next date?
May 8th, 9th, and 10th.
Which I believe is going to be Mother's Day weekend.
Yeah, and just a heads up for all of you listening and replays. I am one that likes to go in early and help. Shannon's always in need of service to people on Thursday before the event in the afternoon. So if you want to, she will always accept people to help set up the stage. We had a great time, Lisa and I, putting together stuff, and then in the evening we do dinner, and then we literally had a business talk, which was awesome. We got to hear from all the leaders and room full of people. So show up early and get a glean for more information. So Thursday through Saturday is pretty awesome if you are able to do that. for
And
the-
any volunteers get a discount on the price. That too. So you can save there if you want to be able to help out. And FYI, from my other Canadian friends that I met down there, when they came and they did the business builder, they said it was well worth it as well. So I didn't
Good.
attend that one, but I believe I will be taking that one in there next time.
Yeah, good. All right. Everyone have a great evening, great week.
You.
Well, thank
Love
you.
you
ladies.
guys.
Thank
Mwah.
you.
Yeah.
Thanks, Cricket. We love you.
Yeah, love you
Yeah.
too.
Bye,
Wonderful.
Cricket.
Bye-bye.
Bye, guys. See you later.